So I had the genius idea to make a list. A list of the most loved operators in Rainbow Six Siege, but also a list of the most hated operators in Rainbow Six. I will say, this is strictly opinionated. However, I also do believe in my heart everybody should agree with the list. And that's pretty much what today's video is. If you guys like the video, be sure to leave a like. I don't know, 1,500 likes, and I'll make this a series for other topics.
It is free to like the video, I'm just saying, it helps your boy out.
Regardless, let's get right into it. For the sake of this video not being too long, I'm going to list 10 loved operators and 10 hated operators. However, I'm going to start with a loved, then hated, then loved, then hated. Be sure to comment down below if you agree with me or don't agree, or if you think someone else should have been on this list. But number one for the love topic, Ashe. I mean, come on, man. This is kinda obvious. The R4C speed demon that used to have a headshot hitbox of a goddamn acorn. I wish I was making that up. I mean, look at this clip right here. But honestly, there's a lot of reasons why people like this character. Her ability counters a lot of operators, mainly Mira and Azami, two of the most S-tier operators on defense, or honestly in Rainbow Six Siege in general. When you think of a frag operator, you're honestly gonna think of Ashe, as she's genuinely the frag operator. I will also highlight, Ashe gets a lot of love in the cosmetic area. I mean, for God's sakes, look at all these uniforms I have. I don't even use like 95% of them, but I have options. Ashe will go down as one of the most iconic operators in this game, hence why it has to be on the loved list. But even though there's loved operators, there's also hated. And number one for the hated operators, and again, this is not in chronological order, I'm not saying this is the number one most hated operator, it's just goddamn Blitz. Do you ever feel like a piece of garbage and want everyone else around you to know that you are also a piece of trash? Well, my friend, do I have an operator for you? Blitz. Oh yeah, this baby right here takes absolutely 1/10 of your actual skill to function. A newborn goddamn baby could even play Blitz perfectly. All you have to do is run at people. Flash, punch, and kill. It's that simple. Yep. I feel like every Blitz main has gone through this and has accepted being unliked by the community. Just a boring and frustrating operator to play against. I don't think anyone has ever been excited to play against Blitz. In fact, Blitz is one of the only operators in this game that if you're playing against him, he will genuinely put fear in your heart like no other operator. But also, like I said, a newborn baby can function this operator perfectly, as there really isn't a skill base to it. Hence why I think he's one of the most hated operators in Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not trying to shit on my Blitz mains, but I'm lying. I really am trying to shit on you guys. It's just like, why do you do it? Like, you choose to play a shooter to play a shield op. Ugh, it's gross. Now, number two for loved operators, Doc. You're telling me that you don't love making your friend bark or meow for a goddamn stim? If so, that's honestly just weird, like really weird. Even when Doc was low-key trash when Siege came out, he's always been loved. I mean, this man also has so much drip options. I mean, look at this goddamn sloth headgear, or this Navi outfit. Bro is straight up faucet failure. Shout out Slump God. He's got 3 insanely good primaries, being the MP5 and the P90, which both have ACOG, and probably one of the most underrated shotguns in the goddamn game. I genuinely, and I mean genuinely, love this gun. This shotgun hits so hard, I call it the Chris Brown beatdown, because it's honestly just domestic violence in a gun form. Doc will be a top 5 favorite operator of all time. He can lose his ACOGs, and he will still be played and cherished. Another iconic operator in the Rainbow Six Siege universe. Now for number 2 on the hated operators, Sense. Yeah, I feel like people forget that Sense honestly exists. It's quite simple to the reason why people don't like this operator. Besides having a wonky-ass assault rifle, Sense's ability is the most situational trash ability that we have in Rainbow Six. I swear you could throw this thing and it will not, and I genuinely mean not, go where you were initially looking and just go and mess up whatever strat you wanted to do in the first place. The only redeemable factor of this character is the fact that Sense has the 417 DMR, one of my favorite guns in the game, and that's literally it. It's okay to hate Sense. We all hate Sense. God, even the cosmetics for Sense is just so ugly. It looks like piss and cum. I don't know why my mind went there. I'm so sorry. That was very crude of me. But I stand on this notion. But if you don't believe Sense is that bad, look at this clip from my Sense video. And look at how unpredictable his sensibility actually is.
Two on the pillar.
I got this. Guy right here, I think. Sense!
What the fuck is it bouncing? Like, what did it bounce off of? I hope he just leaves. Like, all I see is
Perfect
just
clip for the
antics.
YouTube right there.
Ah! Now for number 3 on the loved operators, we have Sledge. No matter how many times Sledge gets nerfed, he will always be loved and cherished. Ubisoft literally can't make us hate him. So what they took away his SMG-11?
They gave us the goddamn Master Chief.
But Sledge is the most versatile soft breach operator that we have. It's also quiet, so you can make insane plays. You can remove an entire floor, break deployable shields, and bonk maestro cameras. This man is so loved that there's a custom game around him called Sledge Myers. There's literally not any other operator in this game that has their own custom game. Now that's actual tech. Throughout all the nerfs that Sledge has actually witnessed, he has survived and will still remain a top operator that's loved by everybody. Now for number 3 on the hated operators, we have Warden, aka the stompin' wannabe operator. If you're not stomping, stop using this fucking op, okay? Now, Warden isn't bad whatsoever. However, it's the way people play him that makes it mad annoying. You know how many times I have seen a Warden not use his ability on a flash or a smoke? It's insane. Even my fucking teammates, I have to remind them, you're Warden! I should have to do that. Why'd you pick him to begin with? Not to mention the people that mainly play him tend to be brain dead. A bunch of people who swing everything and play selfish because they want to use the SMG-12 and try to act like stomping. Just a bunch of egotistical dickheads. Why is every Warden main mad toxic? Like, I really don't get it. It's like, just stop. I can't be the only one that sees it. Like, am I wrong? Like, they're mad weird. It is what it is. But there's a reason why Warden gets a lot of hate in the community. It's strictly because of the players, not the operator itself. That's kind of unfortunate, as he's one of the only operators on this list that actually has that ideology. Now for number 4 on the loved operators. Goddamn Mute. The character in Siege with the most counters. I mean, listen to this list. Thermite, Twitch, Fuse, Blitz, IQ, Habana, Jackal, Ying, Dokkaebi, Lion, Nomad, Nock, Yana, Ace, Zero, Flores, Sense, Grim, Brava, Ram, Deimos, and Rora. I just listed, I'm pretty sure, more than half of the operators. Not to mention, he has an S-tier loadout. He's got arguably one of the best shotguns in the game, with one of the best secondary SMGs in the game, being the SMG-11. He can make rotates, head holes, break hatches, and one pump people, but also contest long distance with a high rate of fire weapon. I think Mute genuinely might be the #1 operator on Siege. Like seriously. I don't know who honestly takes him for that #1 spot. Hence why he will stay. It was one of the most loved operators in Rainbow Six. Now for number 4 on the most hated. Goddamn Cali. A primary weapon that should be hitting like the Nornfang sniper rifle from Halo 5, but instead shoots literal melted marshmallows. Now there is a few reasons why people don't play Cali. I mean, yeah, she can counter Mira, but so can Ash. She can kind of get walls and hatch denial, but so can Maverick and Thatcher. She's always the worst picked operator for her counterparts. Not to mention her frag potential is low. You could tag somebody with their fucking sniper rifle and they don't die. I'm shooting a literal sniper round at you and you're telling me you could tank it? Who are you, Bane? Also, not to mention, she is very easy, and I mean easy as hell, to Bandit and K-Trick, including Two-Brow Trick. She's just trash. On to number 5 of the most loved operators. Thatcher. I'm gonna be real. When I think of Siege, I literally think of Thatcher being the face of Rainbow Six. For God's sakes, he has so much cinematic love from Ubisoft, and that are all peak, like the fucking laser sights video. Not to mention, nobody, and I mean no one, ever complains about a Thatcher being played, as he counters almost every defense operator. He's the perfect pair for operators like Thermite, Ace, and Habana. There is no support duo unless Thatcher is in the picture. That's why he will go down as one of the most loved operators. On to number 5 of the most hated. Goddamn Fenrir. I don't know what Ubisoft was thinking with this character. I mean, there's a reason why his ban rate is extremely high. A trap operator that can essentially hide his traps anywhere. Blind and deafen the attackers and get the easiest picks of your life. Just mad annoying to play against. How I play Fenrir is genuine evil. I always try to pocket at least one, sometimes two, depending on my roam game. So therefore, I can literally lock down any area that I'm holding, essentially giving me an advantage in almost every fight. Doing so makes it almost impossible to challenge Fenrir. But to be honest, because of how much I hate this operator, playing against him to be specific, I'm going to always ban him. He's always going to have at least a 95% ban rate for me on my team. I just don't want to deal with it. That's honestly who Fenrir is. He's the I don't want to deal with you operator. And that's why he'll go down as one of the most hated operators in this game. On to number 6 for the most loved. Maverick. You can draw anything with Maverick, like genitals. Don't say you never have. We have all drawn a penis with the Maverick torch, okay? or we've at least seen it. But Maverick is a mix of a support operator and a frag operator. He counters bandit tricking with ease just with his torch alone. But also he can get sneaky picks with his ability as well, as it's pretty much quiet as hell. You know how many times I've made a little Maverick hole, peeked through it, and have gotten a free kill because they could not hear me doing it because I'm very far away? It's insane. Now, yes, it might be high risk, high reward, but I promise you majority of the time, it's reward. You can also make rotates. For example, on Clubhouse, specifically Dirt, I love to make a little hole quietly and just sneak my way through. So do a lot of people. That's not just a me thing, that's an actual strat. The only thing that does not make him perfect is his DMR. And the only reason why I say that is because the ammo count on this thing. It's not bad, but it's also not good. His M4 is what slaps. I love this gun. But I think everybody will agree, Maverick is a loved operator. On to number 6 of the most hated ops in Siege, Zofia. Now, when I say hated, allow me to explain. Where the hell do I even begin with this operator? The once most popular operator on attack with an insane loadout and ability, reduced to ashes, as if she was goddamn Thanos snapped out of existence. Both her LMG and her AR are to a point where they're almost unusable, in which no one wants to even touch her, even though her ability carries. Everyone always points out Sledge nerfs, but fails to realize that Zofia got nerfed so hard that people forget that she's even an operator in this game. That's why she's hated. It's because she's so hard to maintain and play because of her loadout. Again, her ability is extremely useful, and I will not shit on it. However, you can't play this game with a loadout that puts you at a disadvantage. These guns are just unbearable. I mean, look at the recoil pattern for the AR. And then look at, oh my god, the LMG one goes off the rails. Jesus Christ. I feel like it's a valid reason to put her on the hated list. Again, this is my opinion. You might not agree with it, but I feel like you might. On to number 7 of the most loved operators in Rainbow Six, Ella. Now, everybody loves Ella for the wrong reasons. And I think we know what the reason is, as it's, not PG. She's, how do I put this, appropriately, has a certain physique that a lot of people who have never seen females like to appreciate, but also other females appreciate her as well. I'm gonna just come out clean. Everyone is a horn dog for Ella. I have never seen a digital character get rule 34'd so hard, to a point where I'm so scared to open up an image on stream because the possibility of a really disturbing image of this character might get me banned off stream. But it's great. She's my wife for real. I genuinely don't think people play her for her kit, just for the sake of being horny. Yeah. I wish I had a better reason, but on to number 7 for the most hated. Vigil. My god, my Vigil looks like a goddamn golden warrior. What is this? This is drip. If you thought Warden players were mad toxic, allow me to introduce you to Vigil. The 3-speed operator with an insane loadout and ability that could shut down any push or roam clear. If the boss G is in somebody's hands who's somewhat decent at the game, will turn into a literal cannon, but also has one of the best secondaries in general of the game. I will say these weapons do have a solid skill gap, to a point where if you're playing a good boss G or SMG player, you're gonna have the most miserable game of your life. But very similar to Warden, a bunch of brain dead window lickers tend to just thrive on him. Do I know why people like to spawn peek with him? Yeah, got an ACOG, but it's just annoying to play against him, and I think that's why he's gonna go on the hated list. Nothing really more on that one. Number 8 on the most loved operators, Mira. This operator can make or break a site. For example, cafe 3rd floor bar cocktail site, okay? With no Mira, it's a pretty tame site to push and attack. Nothing crazy going on. It's gonna be very vanilla. Now, add at least 1 Mira wall to any of the walls upstairs. Yeah, it's enough to make the enemy team change their entire strat. Now, pause for a second. She has 2 Miras. Now, add that second Mira into the equation. The other team is gonna be shitting literal bricks. Not to mention her loadout is insane. She's got the Vector, which is one of the best SMGs in the game. The fire rate is, god, 1200? I didn't even notice it was that high. And she's got a secondary shotgun for rotates, or head holes. If one character is enough to change the entire attack, she's an S tier operator, and that's why she's going to be loved by so many. But also, she's one of the only operators on this list that I could also deem being one of the most hated. I went for loved because I love her more than I hate her, but people hate her enough to the point where they'll ban her over anybody else. So, I guess in the comments down below, would you put Mira in the loved category or hated? I'm going to go loved personally. On to number 8 of the most hated. You guessed it. Cavera. Allow me to break down the levels of a Cav. First, you have the copper to gold Cav players. Those players hate Cav because they don't know how to play the game proper. and roam clear, so genuinely fear Caveira, as she's gonna be a fucking nuisance to play against. There's that type of hate. In any decent Emerald lobby, hell even Plat lobby, the second anyone knows there's a Caveira on the other team, she's gonna get hunted to the point where it's gonna be an easy 4v5. So in other words, she's useless. Not to mention, has arguably one of the worst SMGs in the goddamn game, being the M12. God, this SMG is just horse shit. Rightfully so, is gonna be top 10 worst operators in the game. On to number 9 of the most loved. Unfortunately, I can't put him up on screen because Ubisoft took him from us. Now, I said that and you probably tingled. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Prime Recruit. Not this bullshit ass Striker or Sentry. This is fake Recruit. I'm talking about Default Recruit. I miss the old days of rushing with the boys as all recruits with M870. Or hell, playing defense bringing 10 barbed wire and 5 deployable shields. It was truly a great time in Siege. The meme Siege era was just peak. If anything, this was the most loved operator in the game, simply for the memes. I feel like the old Recruit just made Siege what it is today and will forever hold a place in my heart, as well as the R6 community. But on to number 9 of the most hated. Yep. We all knew Clash was going to be on this list. I would rather stick my you-know-what in a pencil sharpener at Mach speed, while Omni-Man gives me back shots that have the potential to cripple me, than play against a Clash player. Clash isn't a great operator, but when played right, with a proper team, has got to be the most frustrating thing to deal with, or play against. Usually it's the guys that go 0-3 on attack and decide to play Clash on defense because they can't hang. And now that her rework is coming out, it's just gonna get worse. I'm gonna be honest. Her pick rate is gonna go insane. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to ban her. That part stinks. I think everybody will agree. She's probably top 5 most hated operators in the game. But on to the last most loved operator in Rainbow Six Siege. The Lord Tachanka. Oh, of course, the King, the Messiah, the literal demigod with chiseled abs and a beer gut was gonna be on this list. No matter who you are, hell, not even a Siege player, you're gonna love Tachanka, which is crazy because he's honestly one of the worst operators in the game. The past 10 years, he's just stayed in the hearts of everybody through all the trashness and his ability. First, his LMG, the mounted LMG to be specific, which then got buffed by plopping a Blackbeard shield onto it, which then got removed to become his primary weapon, in which they added his new ability being fire grenades, which aren't necessarily bad, but also aren't necessarily good. The Lord Tachanka will always reign supreme. Also, you're a true Tachanka player if you recognize this outfit. This is how you're supposed to play Tachanka. There honestly should be no other combos. This is peak Tachanka. And on to number 10, the last for the most hated operators in Rainbow Six Siege. God damn it. Ying. Fuck you if you main Ying. Besides Clash, Ying is just a pain in the ass to play against, and is usually played by people who just need their opponents to be blind in order to kill them. Usually favored by the less fortunate, aka the golds and silver players who just suck with gun skill. Even champ lobbies, Ying is gonna be annoying and hated. Nobody wants to play against her. Do you know how annoying it is to watch her roll this stupid ass looking Bakugan on the ground and then proceed to get flashed 5 times, but then, oh, it's not done, she probably throw 2 more. You're gonna be flashed for the next 20 seconds and die a horrible death by somebody who didn't best you, but just played a bitch operator. Again, if you main or just play Ying in general, you're a piece of shit. But that's been my list for the top 10 most hated operators, as well as the top 10 for the most loved. If you guys agree with any of the list, be sure to comment down below. If not, also comment down below. I'm actually curious to know what your input might be. If you have any different options for the list, I'm here to listen to you guys. Regardless, 1,500 likes in the video helps your boy out, and I do hear the outro music coming in.
Love you all.
I'm at the butt, I bet you call. I'm about to say all the wire. You know I love a tiger. I can go to her ass like a tiger. She like Poppy on fire. She like Poppy on fire. We gonna do an LPOA. You got a gun, nigga. Me too. Buddy go what? Buddy go. Got buddy go. Bless you. Look. Buddy go. Digging that, looking back. Nigga digging that back. That's it. Buddy go back. Got him. Buddy go.